Okay. Here we are. Good morning. I think this is working. I'll find out soon enough. Every day, think when you first wake up, even in times like this, especially in times like this. Every day, think, I'm so fortunate to have awakened this morning. I'm alive. I have a precious human life, and I will not waste this day. I'll direct all my efforts toward improving myself for the benefit of all beings everywhere. Reach out to others, will not get angry. I will not freak out about this challenge that we're going through as a global community. I just got a little reminder here that there it is. Sorry about that. Glad to have you guys there. We're still live. All right, I won't touch the phone. This is a pretty challenging time, and I think we're all kind of still in shock. We're used to our relatively comfortable lives. We get to practice yoga at our local studios. We all work. We have income, which is relatively steady. Most of us are pretty healthy, and when we're not, we have access to health care. And so to come into a time like this when the entire planet is struggling, it's something we're not really used to. And as I see people, I go to the store to get groceries, I see people who are just paralyzed with fear about what's going to happen. And I think most of us are more concerned about our personal economy, the global economy, and I don't mean the stock market necessarily. I mean, how are we going to earn a living? How are we going to feed our family? Many of us are in the service industry, and there's no income for the next coming months, and that's a little scary. It's very scary. But I think now, this is a teaching. This is a very incredibly powerful teaching. And it's hard to think of it as that. It's hard to think that, this isn't some random horrible mistake. It's not a mistake. I really feel, and you may or may not agree with me, that this is the earth kind of kicking back, saying, hey, I've tried to give you some warnings about all the polluting and overpopulating and poisoning you've been doing to this planet. And if you're not going to do something about it, I am. And so I really do believe that this will pass. Our lives will change. I don't know what's going to change, but I certainly think it's a time of huge change, and we're always going through change. It's so great to see you guys. Just to interrupt my flow here for a second, I see Anastasia and Carolyn and Kat, and it's just great to be with all you guys this morning. It's part of this teaching is that I think we're meant to learn the importance of this global connection and to be reminded that we are one community, that we're one big Sangha. And it's ironic because we can't really come together physically. So we have to learn how to be together kind of virtually. We have to learn how to be together through our consciousness, through our meditation, through our practices. And talking about practices, what is our yoga practice? What are all our practices trying to teach us? Teach us to be present. Paramahansa Yogananda always said, get your attention in present time, and the future will take care of itself. That's a hard thing to practice when the challenge is as challenging as it seems to be now. But our insight will come from our practices. I think one of the things we learn as we practice, whether it's asana or meditation or pranayama, is that as we become more familiar with the nature of things, we see that unwholesome thoughts and actions lead to unwholesome consequences. And wholesome acts and thoughts and actions lead to wholesome consequences. And so we become more gifted, we become more equipped to focus more on our wholesome thoughts and let go of unwholesome thoughts, let go of fear, and just have faith that the universe has always been there for us. And even in a time of such dramatic change as now, the universe will continue to be there for us. You know, fear of dying is the most powerful of all the kleshas. And I think that's the underlying fear for all of us. When people are going out and stocking up on toilet paper, it's kind of hard to connect that to the fear of dying. But aren't we really sort of fortifying ourselves against the enemy, against incoming that we can't see and that we don't really know? So why is getting our attention in present time going to help? Because it's going to keep us from worrying about the future. And pretty much that, almost that aspect of this experience is built into the experience. We don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow or next week. I mean, we never really do. But we went along thinking that, maybe we do have we felt we did have a sense of what was going to happen tomorrow. We had a steady job, we had income, we had family, we had friends. Now we can't physically be with them. We're on our own. And the only thing that connects us that creates the Sangha is through our meditation, through our practice. It's so important in times like this to practice, to work on being positive, to cultivate wholesome thoughts, to cultivate compassion, to cultivate freedom. Freedom and compassion are the foundation of every practice. Don't think there's only one way to practice, or one way to do asana, or one way to meditate. You know that everybody, every practice is trying to teach us that if we can learn to calm the turbulent waters of the pond in our mind, we'll begin to have insight about what is. And what is in this moment is difficult to be content with, is difficult to accept. So we do the best we can, all of us. Hi, Hattie. Hi, Barbara. Good morning to you all. It's so great to see you all. This is the first time I've ever done a Facebook Live, so I'm seeing all these things pop up. I'm guessing this is working and that we're actually live. I couldn't use my laptop because I have a very slow Wi-Fi signal and the cellular signal is pretty iffy, so it's a gift from the gods that we're able to do this at all. Thanks for sending up all the hearts. One more thing about practice, and then we'll get started, is when we practice, we're not just practicing for ourselves. We're practicing for the whole planet, for people in Europe and Syria and South Africa and Tierra del Fuego. And you know that I really feel that the global Sangha is dependent on each of us to do the work. You know, when you make an effort to get up in the morning and sit for 5 minutes or 20 minutes, you put that energy, goes down into the collective unconscious, and then everyone else makes it easier for everyone else to tap into that and to be inspired and to do the work, do their own spiritual work. So this idea of being present and finding the joy or the freedom in this moment is simply about cultivating joyfulness, cultivating compassion, cultivating loving kindness, and cultivating upeksha. The word upeksha in Sanskrit means, in Sanskrit it kind of means disregard. In the Pali language, the language of Buddha, it means equipoise, maintaining our balance, maintaining our stability, keeping an even keel for ourselves, for our friends. Because stress, unmitigated stress, if you let this stress pile up, it attacks the immune system. We all need to keep our immune system strong. Meditation helps. Asana helps. Walking in the woods helps. I've been trying to walk 4 or 5 miles a day, just out there hammering away. Good morning from Nova Scotia. Hi, Mark. Good to see you. Susan, great to see you. You guys are all doing such great work in the world. I'm so honored to be a part of this community. And if we can't hang in there and be an example, be leaders in our communities of compassion and reaching out to others, who's going to do it? So let's get started. Go ahead. Come to a comfortable seated position, and you can sit in a chair. And how long would you like to do? 15 minutes? I know some of you would probably like to sit all day. Some of you want to sit for 3 minutes and get back to worrying about whatever you've been worrying about. Hard to hear your voice for a few minutes. Oh, thanks for letting me know. Well, I'm going to speak a little louder, get a little closer to the phone. We've had some snow here. In fact, it's snowing very lightly right now. When that happens, everything goes out. So it's lucky that we're still connected. Let me know if this is better. All day, Hattie. Okay. All right. So come to a comfortable seated position. Sit in a chair if you like. Take a breath. Just drop into this moment. And take another breath and drop in. And notice as you close your eyes and as you drop in, there's a moment of peace. There's just a moment of, in this moment, I'm okay. How is this moment? Check in with your heart rate. Check in with your nervous system. Check in with your circulation. How are your feet and your hands and tip of your nose? Thank all the cells in your body for making it possible for you to sit, to be here, to be awake, and to join this community. Oh, thanks, Susan. Good. Glad to know you can hear me. Close your eyes if you like. Take another breath. Feel the floor underneath you or the chair. Feel the way your legs are folded or your feet are flat on the ground. Let your shoulders relax. Let your hands be soft in your lap or resting on your knees. Lift the heart and be mindful of the difference between just slumping and having a little bit of spinal flexion and really coming into extension. And in your mind's eye, just take a look around. We have people from Nova Scotia, the west coast of Canada, from Florida and New York State, the cities, the country, warm weather, cold weather. It's just so comforting to be here with all of you. We will get through this. Sit with a relaxed and alert attention, and I'm going to start some bells, and we're going to sit for about 15 minutes. And good morning. I just got goosebumps. Good morning, Sao Paulo, Brazil. Isn't this cool? Okay, I'm going to close my eyes so I can't see who's watching and who's listening. Once again, if you need to make any last-minute adjustments to your posture, go ahead and do that now, and then just drop into this moment. Have a sense of community, have a sense of connectedness, have a sense of this group that's sitting together. Remind yourself that we're not trying here to cultivate good thoughts or keep away bad thoughts. We're really not trying to do anything. We're just allowing this state of meditation to just descend on us. Imagine you have a pond in your mind, and you're just we will be using the breath to just quiet the pond in the mind. So once you have a sense of where you are and a sense of the feel of your sitting, let your attention come to rest on your breath and notice that you're breathing. And because we tend to get lost in thought, we're going to work to keep our attention anchored to our breath. Go to a place in your body where you feel the movement of your breath. Maybe it's your belly. Maybe it's your fingertips. Maybe at the tip of your nose. And just pick one of those places and let your attention rest there, just the way a butterfly comes down and rests on a flower blossom, rests her little feet on the delicate petals, and then just is there. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. And after you take a few breaths, just allow natural breath to resume. sit with a relaxed and interested attention. And notice what is coming up for you this morning. Thoughts are not the enemy. We're not trying to suppress thought. We're just training our mind and attention to bring our awareness here, now. You'll be distracted over and over again by thought, by sensation. Maybe your knee or your hip or your shoulders, your back is calling to you. So if you can just go there and send some breath to that place of sensation. And then come back to the breath. I invite you, when you hear the bell, to just come back to home base, come back to your anchor. What we're working to do here is to learn the difference between being lost in thought, carried off on some thought about something we need to do or something that could happen in the future, and being here, being awake. Being awake is being tuned in to this moment. So I will ring the bell a few times over the next 10, 12 minutes. And when you hear it, just watch whatever had your attention drift away and return your focus to your breath. Breathing in, I know that I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know that I'm breathing out. In and out. Just be with yourself without fear, without anxiety, with the community in this moment, dropped in. See if you can feel the energy, the support of all the people across this continent that are sitting with you right now, working on their own personal evolution to rise up, to be strong, to persevere and create resilience. When you become aware of thought, just recognize. No judgment. No bad thoughts, no good thoughts. Just thought. Thinking, as Pema Chodron says. Just notice. That's the training. We can't suppress thought. We can just train our minds in focus, and as we get better at focusing, the thoughts just drift away, quiet down. Watch that pond in your head. Let it be still and calm. And at any point, if you have to leave the group, just take a moment to sit quietly before you end your meditation. Have a moment of transition so that you move from your meditation space to being back in the world with, it's kind of like going through the mudroom, that you prepare for re-entry and then carry all this good energy from the practice with you. And we're going to sit for another 5 minutes or so. Become aware of the difference between being lost in thought, carried off by thought, and being awake. This yoga practice helps us to learn to make the choice to be present and be free, moment by moment by moment. Very slowly take a nice deep breath. Keeping your eyes closed, just sit quietly for a few more moments. And maybe take a big inhale and reach over to your right knee with your left hand and twist your right. And exhale as you twist, and then do the same thing on the other side. Maybe sit back and arch your spine, lean back. And then maybe round the back and lean forward. And I always like to end meditation or pranayama or yoga nidra practices by resting my eyes in the palms of my hands. And then opening my eyes to greet the world around us, which right now is pretty cloudy and gray and everything's covered with a light dusting of snow. Thank you so much for being here. It's been my first experience with Facebook Live, so I think it went well. I was a little anxious about it all, but seeing all of you join in, I felt like I was sitting here holding hands with everybody. Guys, have a good day. Do the best you can. And when stress levels start to build up, just stop. Close your eyes, take a breath. Touch peace for just an instant. And know that we're going to get through this. Because there really is no other choice. Thanks, Zoe. Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, Leslie. Thanks, Barbara. Thank you, Catherine. Kat Marie. Love you guys. You want to do this again tomorrow morning at 7? Sooner or later, somebody's going to give me some feedback. Thank you. Thank you. Namaste, Rosemary. I'll post it on. Thanks to all of you. That's great. It isn't me. It's all the people that were here that supported us in this. Love you, Mary Beth. You have no idea how rewarding this is. I wish all of you, maybe all of you can see these shares and notes and yes. Okay, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And I will see you then, God willing. Love you. Namaste. Hi, Julie. Yes, tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow. We can. Thanks, Mary Beth. Yes, we can. See you tomorrow, Zoe. Thanks, Mary Lee. Thanks, Sherry. Say hi to Mark. Barbara's sitting on a beautiful beach watching the sun about to rise. How lucky are you? I'll say, Judy. Bye, everyone. Take care.